Hey everybody, I just wanted to stop in, do a little live session with you guys that had an interesting situation come up yesterday, and I knew better and I still made a mistake. Of course, it's easy to make a mistake. I want to talk today a little bit about print direction, grains in your prints. I made something for a customer. I made a holster for him. Now, I knew which direction to print this piece in without thinking. I didn't line it up the proper way on the print. Sure, the print looked the same externally, but is all familiar with. For instance, wood has a grain. If you use wood the wrong way, it's weak. It splits along the grain, but if you were to turn the board the other direction, it's going against the grain. The wood has extra strength. Well, did you realize that your prints are the same way? If you've had prints that you were counting on for strength and they just keep cracking, turn the print over to the side. And here's the example. This was a belt clip for a gun holster. Now, I've never had them break before, but that's because I normally print them this way. Here's why. Your grain in your print would run this direction. The stress on it, obviously, would run this direction. So the stress would run against the grain, which would give it strength. I just had a blonde moment. I don't know what I was thinking. I printed it this way. Therefore, when the stress went right with the grain, snap. I mean, it wasn't 2 seconds. Snap. So I fixed it. I went ahead. This is the same piece, printed with, as I said, the proper grain direction. Now, yeah, you're not breaking that. Same material, same everything, same thickness. There's no difference except the direction of the print. So when you're going to, that's why I was talking to the thing, we're talking about print strength. You can build things. This is common PLA. This is not carbon fiber. This is not anything. This is not PETG. You can get a lot of strength out of just a common PLA, PLA Plus, PLA Pro. It's all in the direction of your print. So pay attention to when you put it on the plate. You can even print at an angle. You can get a lot of strength out of that. Not as much as a direct perpendicular strength. It'll be better. But sometimes it's not available. You and I know it's not a perfect world. You can't get a perfectly square print every day. I mean, my head may be square, but the prints not always are. But here's the holster that it came off of. Now I've replaced, as you can see, I've replaced the belt clip now. The holster, yeah, it's not going anywhere now. When he went to put it on, let's talk embarrassing, guys. He didn't even get it to his belt. Snap. Man, I felt like a horse's hit. You know what I'm going to say. And it was nobody's fault but my own, because I knew better, So if your prints are snapping, stop and look at the way you're printing. It could be something as small as a car door for a model car you're making. Something as big as something like that. Again, it's the grain of your print. It has a grain just like a 2x4 or a piece of plywood. It's the direction of the grain is going to make all the difference in the world. So pay attention to that. It's going to make a difference. I had to stop and drop a note on this one because I was like, you know what? I haven't talked about that yet. And yeah, I felt like a horse's ass. I'm just going to say it. It was pretty embarrassing. It's a good thing, though, when I make something like that, I put a lifetime warranty on it because I know better. I know how I should make it. But then there's some things that you're going to make for people that no matter how you make it, it's going to break. It can break. For instance, this is a trophy for a Marine, ex-Vietnam Marine. I made a very delicate eagle across the top of his eagle globe and anchor. Now, he snapped the eagle's wings off. It's not his fault. They are delicate. I'm going to increase the thickness of the wings in my slicer when I redo them. They're in resin. They were so fine that you could see the sun shine through the feathers. Okay, it was really pretty, but you know what? Yeah, knowing his hands kind of shake a little bit, I should have thought about that when I made him for him. So I'm going to increase the thickness on him a little bit. See if I can make it a little more sturdy. Kind of felt bad. It was awful pretty though, let me tell you. That one was kind of a no fault of anybody's. There was just nothing you could do about it. But I'll fix him up. You know, you got to help him out. But this morning, I'm going to sit while we're sitting and talking. We're finishing up the Jeep this morning. The only thing left is to print the headlights. Okay. I had the material coming. For some reason, of all the goofy things, tell me how clear resin is on back order. It's like the most common thing in the world. And all of a sudden, they just can't get their hands on it. I'm like, okay, luckily it's not in a hurry. But this morning, I have gone in and we have finalized the Jeep's wire locations. The wiring inside the hood is the same way. It's now permanent. We've got it all insulated in, so everything is permanent. Everything is working like a charm. So the final things I've got the new doors I was telling you about printed. I've been fussing with these things because I've not been happy with them. So I've got a new set of doors printed. We're going to take a look at them this morning. Just because, now, you know, some of us are kind of OCD about this. That's why my shelves look like they do. I make 50 versions of one thing just to get it right one time. And then I don't have the heart to throw away the stuff that I didn't, wasn't quite right, and I still keep it. But when I throw stuff away, man, does my trash pile look like fun. The other day I realized what my trash guy, I'm glad I got rid of him, but I bet he used to wonder what was going on at my house. Because at any one time I had Terminators and Predators and Aliens and God knows what else sticking out of my trash cans. So let's see. This is a Jeep door that I designed to go with this Jeep. And what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to fit it today. This is not a ready-made, ready to go. This is going to be sanded to fit. And then we're going to put magnets in it to match the magnets that I have inserted into the Jeep's dash to hold the door in place. This is the door that we're fitting. Now what I've done is you'll see that it's kind of sharp angled on the back side right here. That's the way I can, when I set it in, we're going to file it in to fit this. We're going to file it in like this. I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself there, but I realized I was holding it up before I was ready. Yeah. See, it's going to be just a little bit too big, and that's what I want. We're going to break out the belt sander here. I've got a mini belt sander. And we're going to sit here, we're going to work off those points that are on the back of these doors, round it off, and custom fit it right to the frame of that Jeep to get a perfect fit. Now, if you look, there's no post-processing been done. I just took the supports off of it. So we're hoping that it'll turn out and stay this flawless. Now, check it out. The mirror, I printed it in place, but the mirror comes out separate. I did that as kind of a cheat. The magnet will go in the back of the hole. The mirror will go in the front. It's a cheap way to line up the magnet, so I went there and fight them for 20 minutes. And the magnet goes right behind the mirror. As you can see the magnet. Oh, can you really see that? Yeah, there you can. Yeah, the magnet I put in the dash hid right there. Be kind of fun when it's done. Now, I'm not sure. We're going to see. I'm not sure how loud this will be, so we're going to try it. This is, if you ever get a chance to get your hands on one of these, a mini belt sander for your desk. Yeah, look at that. You got a sharpening wheel, and also got polishing wheels you can put on here. If you're getting into crafting and you're getting tired of filing things down, let me tell you, best thing I've ever got my hands on. It has a forward and reverse. The belts take 5 minutes to change out. Man, the single best thing I've ever done. All right, let's take a look at the before. See that nice sharp edges? All right, let's take it. There we go. Got to make sure when you do this, if you don't want to put too much pressure because you'll end up melting the plastic instead of sanding it. That's really not what you're after. I know. I did that a whole bunch when I was learning how to do this part. Yeah, there we go. Use all your angles. Now to make sure you're paying attention. Don't have a real heavy hand. You don't need a heavy hand. Right now, I'm just rounding off the points on that door. Then we're going to come back and clean up the excess plastic that accumulates. Yeah, stop. Temperament a little bit sometimes too. Now let's clip off the extra plastic because it does leave a little rim if you're not careful sometimes. All right. Little ultra fine paper. Always get that. You don't want to leave a rough rim, a little rough edge. Now, ultimately, this will get painted, but this is just, the rough surface that we're talking about here. So let's take a peek. Let's see where we're at here. We've already made good headway with the rounding of it. See, kind of starting to round it off a little bit. Now let's see what we're fitting at. How are we doing? Oh, okay. Look at this. We are almost there. Already on the first fit, we're almost there. Got a little bit to take off the back side. Yeah. Yes, indeed, feed the meat. We are almost there. Let's take a little bit off that back side. Fit. We're trying to fit a little bit at a time. You can always take a little off, but you can't put it back on. Wait, that don't count for weight though, does it? Because I keep putting it back on. That don't work out for weight. That's okay though. Yeah. Yeah, we are like right there too. Yeah. And we are a literal hair. It's okay though. All about that custom fit. Getting the shape right. Let me get a look at it, see where I'm headed next with the cleaning. And man, that shape is right there. Okay. It's the bottom corner of it stopping us a little bit. So we're going to take that bottom corner out a little bit. I'll show y'all in a minute as soon as I get this a little better to the fit that we're looking for. I'll be able to share it with you. Now, if any of you are seeing this for the first time, the Jeep that I'm working on is a complete custom build from the ground up. No pre-existing parts. Everything's been 3D printed and hand done. So I'm making a Jeep Rubicon from the ground up. Custom wiring, everything. We're going to see how it turns out. Hopefully well, because you know, it may end up a present for somebody if we're lucky. But we'll see how it turns out. All right, let's clean this up a little bit. Now, we'll sand it down so it has a smooth fit. I'm using the plastic modeling sandpaper, 1000 grit. Start out with about a 240, and I work my way up through the whole process. Doing that, it'll take you through slowly and surely, removing it a little at a time. You don't want to get in a big hurry. This plastic will sand faster than you think it will, and you'll suddenly have a whole lot taken off you didn't mean to take off. Let's see what we're doing here. And yeah, in case y'all were wondering, this is not a fast process by any means. This is a whole lot of trial and error. Try again, keep trying, try one more time. But you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but this old bear will try to learn one or two while we're here. Yeah, okay. Yeah. It'll get there, but now, we're not going to do this the whole time. I'm just working on it while we're talking. Now, one of the projects that I've got started, wait a minute. Oh, yes. Hey, let's change the filament real quick while I'm doing this. We have a great sign going. And I will, after I get this changed, I will show you on the slicer. We are splitting the sign into 4 pieces. For those of you who don't have a large printer, but you're wondering about, hey, I want to make some large prints, but I just don't have a way to do it, you do. You split it, use your slicer. Your slicer will help you split your print. And if you're very careful, you can make a lot of large prints without even, like, little to no trouble whatsoever. I promise you. It works. I do it all the time. Even though I have big prints, I still break them down. Here we go. All right, there we go. I don't think that'll finish while we're on the camera, but I'll show it to you when it's, show you what we're working on here. Let me bring it up on screen, and I'll share the screen with you. We're doing a 4-piece print. Now, when I'm done printing, let me move my screen up here for you, and I'm going to share the screen below. Here. Here's what we're looking at. We're looking at 4 pieces on 4 standard 220 millimeter plates, just doing 1 piece at a time. And it'll be, let's see, you know what? I don't know if you can really see it. But when it's done, there you can kind of see a little bit. It's a Vietnam era symbol for this gentleman's family who served in Vietnam. There are 2 Marines. He wanted something to remember them by, so he had me design a plaque for them. It's going to be black and brass. It's going to look really nice when it's done. But when you print, sometimes I have a large printer that could do the whole thing. But if you make a mistake, you end up throwing a lot of material away. So I decided to split it, and sometimes just think it's easier. When you split it, you only throw away a small section of it. You know, it just depends on what your preferences are. But like I'm saying, it doesn't matter if you have a regular size printer, like that big printer back there in the corner. You could do any size print you want. You just learn how to divide it up. That's really all it comes down to. So, all right, well, I'm going to continue working on this. But this is going to wrap up this Jeep project I've been working on for a while. Well, these doors are going on now. Now, I had a pair of doors on. They didn't quite fit. But when the doors are done, they'll look like this. They'd have mirrors on them. So it gives you an idea what they're going to look like. That's just an ill-fitting set, so we're replacing them. But, all right. Well, it's a little bit short on the live today, but I'll be back and probably back again and back again. So if you have any questions, feel free to like and subscribe. Message me anytime. I'm always around. So look me up on 6bears3dprinting.com. Thanks for stopping in. That was an awesome.